right, let me come to Mrs. Bolanle Sarumi. And I must commend you, Mrs. Bolanle Sarumi, just like I introduced earlier. She's the first of its kind in Oyo State, the first female to contest for the office of the governor. Yes, ma, a lot of people, I saw your video on TikTok. I saw the video on TikTok, and we played a part of the video shortly before putting the call through, where you gave this, in-depth analysis of how you think the governor or the government of Oyo should spend this 63.4 billion. But some people might say, well, probably because she contested for election in the states and didn't win. That's why she's making this statement. Help us make sense of your stand as why you think the government of Oyo should channel this money to other quarters rather than renovation of the government house. Hello, Ma, are you still there? Hello?
Hello, Mr. Ayo. How
yes,
are you, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, it's a bit faint.
Okay. Okay, but I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, you contested in the last in the last election, right? And yes, a lot of people would say, because I saw your video and we played a part of that video before coming into the show, before bringing you on, where you gave your analysis on how you think the government of Oyo should spend 63.4 billion naira. However, this is, towards 2027, almost all statements now attempt political. How do you explain that this is not a political statement? Let's understand your stand on why you think the government of Oyo should not spend this money the way, it has been marked for.
So basically, when I saw the news, I was shocked. If I remember His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde, whom I worked for almost 2 years, he's been a prudent man. He even used to say it, and people are saying I'm prudent, and I'm like, yeah. And we like it like that, because we need a leader that's going to manage our funds properly and will not waste it on things that are not needed. You will have various cabinet members who are looking forward to some projects that are not needed, projects that are not, what will be beneficial to the people. So when I saw the news, I was like, no, I have to say something about this, because this doesn't sound like the Governor Seyi Makinde I know. While I worked for him, I never came up with any big project. I never asked for funding for any major thing. I even went out and reached out to organizations to support, the humanitarian project we did, so that way our government will not need to spend so much. And that's the system I left behind. And when I now saw 63 billion plus on renovation, or even if it's rebuilding, I can assure you, even if they start the project today, there's no way they will finish it in time for even the governor to enjoy living there. So if I wasn't saying it as a concerned citizen, if I know that, yes, I'm going to be the governor in 2027, I'll be like, yes, make it nice for me. I'm coming there to enjoy it in 2027 when I win my election. But of course, I have to speak as a daughter of the soil, as someone who wants the best for the people of Oyo State. This amount is too much, Excellency. I am sure you've seen the video. We would like a proper response, and we want him to also revert that decision. There is no urgency in renovating any government house. If you want to celebrate, on your state, let's celebrate it as empowering people. And the empowerment should be done transparently. Even the youth, His Excellency sent to Nasarawa a few years ago. We all went there to learn about how to become, 2025 agriculture farmers, right? Why don't we give them equipment and tools for them to further the knowledge they learned in Nasarawa a few years ago?
That's interesting. The governor said something that the State of the Nation broadcast, the State of the State broadcast, the one had at the State House of Assembly, and a part of that, he made reference to exchange rates. And again, I want to put this side by side. a lot of building construction, is also going on in Oyo State. And if you ask the average man building at a time like this, they'll also let you know, things are on the high side when it comes to building. Are you looking at this also as regards the figure? Because the governor is saying, the exchange rates, we import, quite a number of things that will be in the government house. I want you to also look at that as against probably the figure, that the governor, reeled out, or the state government reeled out here.
So I can't hear you well. But what I can gather, it sounds like His Excellency has made a lot of money for the state, which is very, very good of him. Our idea has increased greatly from what it was before he became governor. But I continue to urge him that he should please use that money to empower the people or renovate more primary health centers. There are many roads, dilapidated roads and buildings. There are many, many things we can do with that money, not renovating the government house. It's not a matter of urgency, please.
Let me get your view in on this. What practical framework should be in place to ensure that, large public projects like this undergo proper public scrutiny that reflect transparency, both, cost and impact? What do you think should be in place to ensure that public projects like this undergo proper public? We lost that call. I'll come to you, Mrs. Sarumi, quickly, but let me get your view on this. Or your people at this time, yes, we've been getting so many, feedback here and there as regards to spending. What do you think should be in place, really, as such? For the public to be able to properly scrutinize this. All right. Mrs. Sarumi is back on the line. Hello, ma.
Yes, you said what should be in place. I can't really hear you well.
Yes.
I might need you to move closer.
All right.
To the microphone.
All right. I said in your view, what practical framework do you think should be in place to ensure that, large public projects of this nature undergo proper public scrutiny and reflect transparency both in cost and impact? How can the people, the public, come in to properly scrutinize things like this? I don't know if you understand the question there.
You mean for the money to still be used to renovate the government?
No, not at all. I'm saying what practical framework should be in place to ensure that a project of this nature, the public can also properly scrutinize it, as against what we're getting now.
That would be difficult, my brother. That would be very, very difficult. There's no how you can justify it. A contractor can come and tell you he's going to use XYZ equipment or things that have been brought from Europe. Another one will come and say, I'm going to use the one from China. So when it comes to those type of things, you can't really, and who are we to question and go and arrive there and say who made the bidding, which contractor is going to do it. I'm not even concerned about all that. All I would like, and I'm sure many Oyo State residents would like, is for His Excellency to revert that and not to spend 63.4 billion on renovating the government house. Simple as ABC. Because if you go and check that video, over 40,000 people have watched it, viewed it, and if you see the intelligent comments that came from it, and it is obvious that the people are wiser and the people demand proper accountability and good governance. We need leaders who will assist us to be able to feed our family. We're not asking you to give us benefits, money every day. We're asking you to show us how we can make our own money. I can tell you what the amount of money can do. So many programs it can be done. I assist people and register their businesses. How much do I spend? Less than 50K to register their businesses with CAC if it's a company liability. Imagine many people that need that the government can pay for as well. And you draw them back into the tax net. If the people know that your policies and your programs are for the people, if you tell them to contribute 1,000 naira every month into the tax net, they will do it because they know that the money is coming back to them. That's how they do in developed countries. People pay their taxes there because they know the money is going to benefit them in healthcare, education, roads, anything, everything while they are living in that country. So we need him to stop that matter. We do not need any renovation of any government house. They have not lived there in 6 years. Him and the deputy governor have lived in their own homes. They've collected housing allowance for their own homes, furniture allowance for their own homes. So why would you now start this when you know you are leaving in 2 years' time, sir? It's not needed. Please. I've done my own for the people. It's left to the people to continue to demand what's right for them.
What's right for them. Mr. BASA, let me ask you very quickly before I let you go. Is it appropriate for the governor and the deputy governor to stay outside of the government house? That's number one. Number two would be, I've seen I saw your handle and I see that it's pointing us back to 2027, which means you will be contesting again in 2027. If this government house do not eventually get the renovation and the people's, comment or the outcry of the people eventually pull through, is this a place you would also like to live in with the current state? Let me get you your thought on that very quickly.
Thank you. So firstly, when His Excellency assumed office, the first thing they should have done is begin to work on those buildings. Every governor is supposed to live in their government housing. Even if you have to do it in phases. For the first 1 year, you renovate your own building and the deputy governor's building. The second year, you move to the main hall. I can assure you, out of the whole government house, the only functional places they would use is probably their homes, the hall where they will meet people, a conference room, and then the chapel and the mosque. Those are the important places you need in the whole government house. So if you have to do it in phases, you do it in phases. And like I said, you have a lot of companies that will key into it and say, yes, they would love to support you as CSR. Or contractors who have been collecting contracts from the state government, they've been making nice profits. So what will it cost them to dump some of their profits in renovating some of the buildings as well? I would look for ways to be prudent so that I will save the money and use the money back for the people. We need to have a country or a state where we can go into a hospital and be treated before they ask you for your card money. We need schools where our children can learn without the roof, rain falling on their heads while they are learning. His Excellency has done well in the area of paying wages. I've always said all the good things about him. I'll continue to talk about it. But when I see something bad, BASA, I'm going to talk about it. Because Excellency doesn't pick his call from me. So, of course, if I do a video, you will see it and you will know that, okay, BASA is making sense. He will call his people to order and tell them we don't need to waste this money on this project. He has been prudent, and that's what I know him for, and I would like him to continue to be such a leader for us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, BASA. Thank you for your time, for joining us on the show. And I hope someday I'll also have you in the studio. I hope to have you in the studio someday so we can have a broader conversation. Thank you so much for